1.
Here.
Ross Carrara, committeeman number 2.
Here.
Alice Castlewood, committeewoman number 3.
Here.
And Jordan Fox, committeeman number 4.
Here.
Yeah, you have a quorum.
At this time, I'd like to call on Judge Kusuwum. Will you please open us with prayer?
Our most gracious Heavenly Father, Ta'apa, Nansuakite, we come to you to ask you for strength and guidance as we go through this meeting today. Let everyone here have good thoughts and good feelings for one another. Let us go through this meeting in a good way for the well-being of all of our people. There are a lot of them out there that can't be here today, but that they're a part of this too. A lot of people forget we have elders out there and even young people out there that don't have transportation, don't have ways and means to get to these meetings, but they're just as much a part of it as you are here that are sitting in the room.
Amen.
Father God, let's just think about all these ones out there and just touch them with health and well-being in the way that you see is fit for them. Sa kusuni ko yoko na misutai apka nansukai. Eka na mahani na sa ko na mahani to eka to na misutai kat na mi mune. Lead us in a good way, Father God, and our leaders here in front of us. Let them have good thoughts and good feelings to help one another to do those right decisions that they need to make for us. Suni ko yoko na misutai apka nansukai. Sa kusuni ko Jesus ananhiwad. Anasutsa waka to suni rahameni. Menikwi, Rahnansukai, love God.
Thank you, Judge. At this time, CBC, please look over the September and October minute meetings.
Mr. Chairman, respectfully, why are we not live streaming this meeting?
Okay, we're going to approve the minutes first, and right after we approve the minutes, we'll address that. Thank you. Yes.
Make a motion to accept the minutes.
We got a motion to accept the minutes by our Secretary Treasurer for September and October. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Second by CBC member number 4. All in favor of approving the September and October minutes signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Minutes have been approved. Okay, there was a question that was asked, why we are not live streaming this meeting. This was a decision, not just one person, it was the entire CBC. We decided on this in a work session and also at our all entities meeting. So CBC, if you'd like to share the purpose why we address this.
So my personal opinion on this is, and again, this is my opinion, it has to do with how we conduct ourselves during the meeting. We have a lot of eyes watching. There's a lot of other tribes watching, not only tribes, but non-tribal individuals as well. And the best interest of our nation is to keep our information, keep our cards close to us. Us divulging financial information, it's not that we're trying to hide anything from anybody. We just need to keep those cards close to us. If you have information, or if you have questions, then come to us. You can go to the enterprise if you're curious on, how they function and what they do, their revenues. I know that was a big question, and that was on a lot of people's minds, that you're worried about, well, what are we trying to hide? And, when I was elected, it is about transparency. That's first and foremost. We don't want anyone to think that CBC has ill will towards any tribal member, especially our nation. When we took that oath, we're here to protect the best interest of our nation and our tribal people. So that's my opinion.
Okay. Anyone else?
I think that Jordan gave a good summary of the sentiments of the entire. I'm saying that the sentiments by Jordan Fox's consensus to the thought process of what we thought about. But I'm glad to see everybody here. It's one of the motives that we try to do in trying to bring you here. This is by far the outcome of our population, of our citizens, to come to be witness to some of the works that we do. So I'm really thankful that we're here and that you're all here physically. But I think that because of some of the things that we talked about, I think would set precedent. So I'll just leave it at that. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else?
Why shouldn't you recognize that everybody's here because they can't see it on live stream now? It's not that everybody has, a motive to get here and do all these things, but they're here because they can't see it online.
Not necessarily, because he was here because of concerning what's going on.
The judge also made a relevant point, though, in that, there are people that are being neglected and overlooked because they're not able to see it online. The people that have transportation limitations, the ones that are sick or ill or maybe having it's difficult to make it to these meetings. But please recognize that these actions, they undermine and do not correlate to your support to this tribe.
We understand.
Stating transparency, sir.
Yes.
There's no transparency because we can't see anything in live time.
Brittany, and I may be jumping the gun, but Chairman will speak on this. Again, this is just a temporary issue, and Chairman, if you'd like to elaborate.
We do have a plan in place. Eventually we're gonna live stream it, but we're still working on that plan. Other tribes, they don't live stream their meetings. They put them online and they are available for their tribal members. Tribal Administrator, can you please go into this a little further?
Yes, we are actually in the background working on Zoom capabilities for our tribal members to log into Zoom and to privately screen the meetings from the privacy of their home. This is not something that we've taken away from the tribal members permanently. IT has delivered a Zoom feasibility study to me on how we can, determine an enrolled member logging into Zoom, being able to attend a Zoom recorded, not Zoom recorded, but like a live stream, but you'll be on Zoom and it's a private screening rather than it being live streamed to everybody out on Facebook and on live stream. Those are things that we have already been working on. I do have this study that I'm going to give to the CBC so they can look it over, and then we are going to make sure that it is secure and safe, and everybody would be able to have the opportunity to log into it and to be able to view the meetings from the privacy of their home. So this isn't permanent. This is something that we are already working on.
Thank you. Yes.
For over 10 years, they did webcasting, but about TV. I don't like you guys stop abruptly to do this. You know something, also, Zoom, I hate Zoom. I despise Zoom. It's so complex. And so, don't go that route. Also, guys, we thought we took a step, 3 or 4 steps towards accountability when the elections happen. You guys have taken 5 steps backwards. You guys have a credibility problem. There's been no productivity for the last 3 years, and so these people don't trust you. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Yes, Ms. Castavoid.
My question is, I would like to know how each one of you voted.
It was a consensus.
Is anybody willing to say how they voted? Because I assume there's no meeting minutes for this vote, right?
Correct.
So this was in a work session and at the all entity. Those are not quorum meetings. So your decision should have been made today.
Amen.
Correct.
About what?
Okay.
About what? About shutting down the live stream.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what about that live stream, I don't appreciate. I'm just one person, but I'm sure there are others out there in the area that may not wanna speak up or can't speak up. But for my sake, I don't think we need to put all of our stuff out there for the general public. They don't do that for us. Logan doesn't do that for
We've been doing it for the
us.
last 10 years. Well, great.
So we don't need to be sitting in the darn spotlight all the time with everything we do.
I understand. I've had other tribal leaders that have made statements to me
Yeah.
that they watch our meetings just because of the chaos.
And we should not be doing that.
And it is
We should not.
embarrassing.
It's embarrassing, not just embarrassing, but Jimmy, we need to keep our business to ourselves.
I agree.
And there should be ways that we can do without having to be in the media. And
There's
it's
no
not,
accountability.
there's a lot of ways to do, there are ways to do things.
Okay.
I'll be glad to, be glad to tell you how I felt about this subject. I felt that it should have been well explained to our people first. And I brought this out in the meeting. I think it's more important that we communicate effectively, really, so that people understand, because it's hard for us to go one direction, then all of a sudden just stop and try to go a different direction. And so, my position was, and then I expressed this to the chairman, we need to explain this in detail and let our Comanche people know exactly what this is really going to entail. And that was my position. I was on it.
Mr. Chairman, were you present for that vote?
I was at the all entities. I wasn't at the working group because I had COVID.
Were you present when they voted?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Do we have a time frame? I'm just curious because we're still waiting on a new improved website, right?
Yes.
And I did ask IT last meeting and they said they're still working on it, so it's been a few months, so how many meetings are we gonna go without, seeing this live, I live here now, but I lived out in Arizona for 15 years, so I feel those people that don't live here. And my family that live in Texas, I don't got money to come up here every once a month, it's, gas prices, so it's just kind of, I think what we're trying to get to y'all is that it felt like rushed, like John David said, y'all should have presented it more clear before you even made a decision personally. That's just my opinion though, we look to y'all for help and for guidance, so when you do something like that, it's kind of scary. It's like,
Okay.
whoa, what's going on? Like Fox said, it does seem like something's being hidden from us, so.
Well, before the meeting's over, we'll have IT come in and explain where we are at with that website, okay?
Mr. Chairman, why don't they, the CBC revote tonight and reverse this debate, at least temporarily? They have the guts to do it, I don't know.
We can put it to a vote, yes. We'll do that after we read the resolutions.
Do you guys all just realize how ridiculous this looks on live stream and everybody is acting like
When you have good leadership, this doesn't happen.
But it's you guys that
What-
are out here that are, get up and holler and scream
Because we're
and be
confused, there's no
ugly.
accountability.
And you're hollering at them and they're trying to do what they need to do. And you guys are all being very negative and being ugly about it. But, and like she said several times, you guys need to get together and work together and be nice to each other instead of being ugly.
We're asking,
Well, here's what we're not going to do. We're not going to sit here and argue like this now. We're going into our first resolution. Resolution 109, 2023, enrollment resolution. Mr. Fox, will you please read that resolution?
Yes, Chairman. We'll start on the second whereas. The list includes the names of applicants who have been verified as eligible pursuant to Article 3, Section 1C, membership of the Constitution of the Comanche Nation, which states all descendants of Alatis eligible for membership under the provisions of Section 1A of the article having 1/8 or more degree of Comanche Indian blood. And whereas the list of applicants are considered adults but have not been enrolled in any other tribe, and the document evidence is on file with the enrollment office, and now therefore be it resolved that the Comanche Business Committee accepts the verification of eligibility for the new applicants as shown on list number 1309 by the Comanche Nation Enrollment Office, and be it further resolved that the Comanche Nation Enrollment Office notify the eligible applicant by letter of their approved membership, and further that the enrolled member of the provided information concerning their enrollment, including name, date of birth, roll number, social security number, and degree of Comanche blood.
Thank you. List is attached. I need a motion to approve Resolution 109, 2023.
So moved.
So moved by our Secretary Treasurer.
I'll
Could I get a
second.
second? Second by CBC member number 4. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Resolution passes. Next resolution, Resolution 110, 2023, enrollment resolution. Mr. Fox, will you please read that resolution?
I'll start with the second whereas. The list includes the names of applicants who have been verified as eligible pursuant to Article 3, Section 1C, membership of the Constitution of the Comanche Nation, which states all descendants of Alatis eligible for membership under the provisions of Section 1A of the article having 1/8 or more degree of Comanche Indian blood, and now therefore be it resolved that the Comanche Business Committee accept the verification of eligibility from the applicants as shown on list number 1310 by the Comanche Nation Enrollment Office, and be it further resolved that the Comanche Nation Enrollment Office notify the eligible applicant by letter of their approved membership, and further that the enrolled member be provided information concerning their enrollment, including name, date of birth, roll number, social security, name, and degree of Comanche blood.
Thank you. List number 1310 is attached. I need a motion to approve Resolution 110, 2023. So moved by our Vice Chairman. Could I get a second?
I'll second, Chairman.
Second by CBC member number 4. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Resolution passes. Next resolution, enrollment resolution. Resolution 111-02023. Mr. Carrara, will you please read that resolution?
Yes, starting with the second, whereas the documentary evidence on file with the Comanche Nation Enrollment Office and information furnished by each applicant named on list number 1311 does not possess the required 1/8 degree Comanche blood as provided by Article 3, Section 1C of the Comanche Constitution, and now therefore be it resolved that each applicant named on the attached list number 1311 is determined to be ineligible for membership with the Comanche Nation of Oklahoma because they do not meet the provisions of Article 3, Section 3C of the Comanche Nation's Constitution, and be it further resolved that each applicant on list number 1311 be officially notified of their rejection from membership, stating the reason for such determination and including the appropriate appeals provision.
Thank you. I need a motion to approve Resolution 111-2023. So moved by our Vice Chairman. I need a second.
I'll second, Chairman.
Second by CBC Member Number 4. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Resolution passes. Our next resolution, Enrollment Resolution 112-2023. Mr. Carrara, will you please read that resolution?
Yes, starting at the second whereas, whereas the documentary evidence on file with Comanche Nation Enrollment Office and information furnished by each applicant named on list number 1312 do not descend from a Comanche allottee as provided by Article 3, Section 1B of the Comanche Constitution. And now therefore be it resolved that each applicant named on the attached list number 1312 is determined to be ineligible for membership with the Comanche Nation because they do not meet the nation's constitutional membership requirements. And be it further resolved that each applicant on list number 1312 be officially notified of their rejection for membership, stating the reason for such determination and including the appropriate appeals provisions.
Thank you. I need a motion to approve Resolution 113-2023.
I'll make the motion.
Motion made by CBC Member Number 4. Could I get a second?
Second.
Second by our Vice Chairman. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Resolution passes.
For the record, we said 113 for that. That was 112.
Thank you.
Yes.
Our next resolution, Transportation Resolution. Mr. Fox, will you please read that resolution?
Yes, Chairman. We will start with the third whereas. The Comanche Business Committee is a duly elected official body designated to conduct business for and on behalf of the nation pursuant to Article 7C of the Comanche Constitution. And whereas the Comanche Nation Department of Transportation wishes to add 3 routes to the Transportation Improvement Plan. Route number 6697, located in the Sterling area, Comanche County, Oklahoma. Route number 6827, located in the Richard Spur area, Comanche County, Oklahoma. And route number 7174, located in Duval, Cotton County, Oklahoma area. Then enter into an agreement with the Cotton and Comanche County for improvements to these routes. The county will perform all construction duties, design, and utility line relocation for the said projects. The Comanche Nation DOT will provide funding for the said projects. Now therefore be it resolved that the Comanche Business Committee hereby approves the Bureau of Indian Affairs Branch of Transportation, SPRO, to add the above routes to the nation's Department of Transportation Improvement Plan and to authorize for the submission of intergovernmental agent proposal for design and construction of said project.
Thank you. I need a motion to approve Resolution 113-2023.
I make that motion.
Motion made by CBC Member Number 2. Could I get a second? Second by our Vice Chairman. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Resolution passes. Our next resolution, Transportation Resolution, Resolution 114-2023. Mr. Carrara, will you please read that resolution?
Yes. Starting at the fourth whereas the Comanche Nation DOT is requesting to purchase a new flatbed truck to pull our backhoe and trailer. The older truck was given to our new mechanic for servicing, transportation, and gravel tin horns, equipment, and vehicles. Please view the attached detailed list of estimates, and now therefore be it resolved, the Comanche Business Committee hereby approves the purchase of this vehicle for the amount of $80,564. The Transportation Department's new vehicle will be purchased with G2G program funds 1527.
Thank you. I need a motion to approve Resolution 114-2023. So moved by our Vice Chairman. Can I get a second? Second by our Secretary Treasurer. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Resolution passes. Our final resolution, Resolution 115-2023. Mr. Fox, will you please read our last resolution?
Yes, Chairman. I will start on the fifth whereas. The Comanche Nation Tribally Operated Center located at 206 Southwest H Street, Lawton, Oklahoma, 73501, requires an upgrade to the infrastructure. And whereas the Comanche Nation Child Care Program has funds available from the Child Care Development Fund, CCDF, FY 2023 budget. These funds will be used to pay for supplies, labor, engineered plans, city permits, drainage supplies, and landscaping items needed to meet the cities of Lawton's landscaping requirements. And now for there be it resolved, the Comanche Business Committee approves the Child Care Development Fund FY 2023 funds to be used to hire the construction company, Heavy Construction Division, WW Builders Incorporated, construction and developments to install the upgraded infrastructure and landscaping for the front area at the new tribally operated center located at 206 Southwest 8th Street, Lawton, Oklahoma, 73501, in the amount of $75,800.
Thank you. I need a motion to approve Resolution 115-2023. Okay. Vice Chairman, I need a second.
Chairman, real quick, there was a question.
Yes,
When it would
I'm
be.
sorry. Yes, Carol, can you please?
For the landscaping in front, they won't grant us full occupancy until those requirements are met. Therefore, this resolution, this is City of Lawton requirements, and as soon as this resolution's passed, and then we begin work on the front, the back, the natural outdoor classroom in the back, the City of Lawton doesn't care about that, but licensing does. The front, licensing doesn't care about the front, but the City of Lawton does. And so that's what's holding us up right now. Once they get to work, which will be this week, the outdoor classroom in the back is waiting on a November 9th City of Lawton council meeting. And once that is approved, then the back will be done, and we expect both of them to be done around the same time frame. So late December at the earliest, January at the latest is what we're expecting.
And I will be at that 7 November City Council meeting to push this through. Okay, I need a motion to approve Resolution 115-2023. So moved by our Secretary Treasurer. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by our Vice Chairman. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Resolution passes. Yes, ma'am.
I have a question of the CBC, and I'm just going to read it because we have a lot more clarity. Good morning, Mr. Chairman of the CBC. This letter is to address.
Please stand by. They're going to get you a microphone so everyone can hear.
This letter is to address the unfair, unorthodox, and negative actions of our present elder council officers. They have been very unprofessional for 2 years. 1 year ago, I requested your assistance, but there was none given. Now I'm asking for your counsel and your assistance. I would like to request you, Mr. Chairman, and the CBC to attend our election November 7th, 2023 at Watchtaker Hall. None of you have been to any of our meetings. It's not a democracy, it's a dictatorship. And
Well-
I am very upset about it.
Ms. Parker, your chairman was at a meeting, so was Mr. Carrara.
He was the only
We've been
one.
at several meetings.
Yes, he did come to, I remember one. I've been at every meeting for 2 years except for 2. And Alice came about 3 times. So the reason I'm bringing this up is because I think y'all need to know what's going on. I have listed the unprofessional actions of the Elder Council.
from the past, and there are current issues that are very,
Okay.
very serious. And I did send you a text, and
Yes.
Julia, and I
And-
did speak to Mr. Wani, and he's willing to help. But for the audience, I think it's important that you all know that our present elder officers have not followed the bylaws. They changed the bylaws many times with no CBC or TA approval. They did not fulfill the empty seat of the secretary position for 2 years. Therefore, we had no minutes for 2 years. Also, we did not have any financial reports for 2 years. I think just one. And like I said, I've been to every meeting.
Okay.
Also, Phyllis Narcomi was voted in by the elder council membership. Probably maybe 60 people voted for her. They changed the bylaws and 3 of them put her out. And when I said unorthodox, there have been some very unorthodox things that have been allowed to go on there. There was 2 women that came in to 2 different meetings, and they badmouthed Phyllis, for lack of a
Okay.
better word.
Ms. Parker,
Yes.
we do have that on our agenda for 7 November.
Are you
uh,
going to attend the elder council?
I'll be at the city council meeting. What
Mhm.
time is your elders
10
meeting?
o'clock.
I will be there.
Okay, I have some other issues that are current that you all need to know, because they are very serious. I don't know if there are any social workers in here, but maybe they can back me up. But that's some of the things the elder council has not done. We went recently on a 7-day trip. There was 4 elders that were very, very ill on that trip, and the elder council officers did nothing to help them. A 7-day trip is far too long for elders if 80-year-old and 90-year-olds are in attendance, and we had several, and they struggled the whole time. And there was no doctor's clearance for anybody on that bus. So I watched all of this happen, and I did tell them you need to communicate better. I did say that to the elder council officers. So one of them had a heart problem, and his schedule for medication was thrown off because we got locked out of our rooms. From the very first day, that trip was very hard for these sick people. So we got locked out of our rooms, and we had a heart patient with us, and that threw him off his schedule, and he was very, very, very ill. And then the other lady that got sick had allergies. When we went to Paladero Canyon, everybody brought in cedar in the bus. Well, she was sick the whole time, and I think she spent most of her time in bed. The other person that was sick was a man that had asthma. I tried to tell the elder council before, if you go to New Mexico, the air is thinner, it's at a higher altitude. And he had a very, very hard time breathing. So none of these people had a doctor's clearance, and I watched them suffer, and I tried to tell the officers, but not one time did they approach these ill people. And there was another lady that got food poisoning. So other than these 4 sick people, like I said, the trip was too long for elders that are 80 and 90 years old. And I don't know if y'all know this, but I was a social worker at one time.
Okay.
If you neglect children and elders, that's abuse. So I watched these 4 suffer the whole time with no help. They didn't even have a first aid kit. And after all of this, there was one more thing I want to say. We are having our election, and I have lost all confidence in our elders, council officers, and I do not think we will have a fair election. So that's why I want you all to come.
What do you want us to do when we come to the meeting?
I want y'all to just be there and make sure we have a fair election.
Okay.
And also, should these people, if they choose to run again, should they be allowed to run? Because they are all under investigation.
Okay, Ms. Parker, we will address all this. And
Okay, I
the
would
ones
appreciate it.
the ones that can make it to the meeting on 7 November, we will be there. All right, thank you.
We need your help, because we want a fair election. We are tired of being oppressed. We are tired of being under a dictatorship. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, in lieu of new and old business, thank you so much, Ms. Parker, I appreciate that. I just had a question for CBC Tassaquah. What was your goal when you posted on social media attending a recall petition signing at Starbucks on October 25th?
I didn't post anything regarding that.
What was your goal when you attended?
Okay.
I went to have coffee with Cindy. We just had left from the academy, the open house meeting, and we went to go have coffee.
And so that tactic of abuse is what you utilized with your petition?
No, I didn't.
And
Well,
so
here-
knowingly that there are individuals.
Here's what we're going to do. Point of order. We're done with our resolutions. I need a motion to go into executive. Judge, I apologize. Yes, ma'am.
I don't know if I should even say anything now with all of this that's going on, but, I try real hard when I come to these meetings to have a positive attitude about everything that's going on. And there's so much negativity that goes on, and we need to stop that negative attitude. I mean, nitpicking and picking on people. And that's exactly what goes on in these meetings, and it should not happen. And I know that there are a lot of things that need to be said and done, but you know something? All of this business of getting up here and ranting and raving about whatever, who did this and who did that, that can be taken care of privately, not on the floor where everybody else needs to listen to something important that's gonna happen for all of us. They're taking care of our business. That's what we're here for. We're not here to nitpick each other. And of course, there's no perfect person in here, not even me. But let's try to hold that down about the negative attitudes in here. Because I feel a strong negative attitude around me that I don't like. And it's coming from the sitting here listening to all of this. And like I said, let's try. I know it's hard. I know everybody has a reason for wanting to say something and have your little beats and whatever. I was on that trip with Lenora. Yes, there were people that should not have been allowed to go on that trip with their illnesses. They should have never been allowed to go. But nevertheless, the rest of us had a good time, and I was very impressed with getting there the 3 days in Palador Canyon. I was very pleased with the young people that took us through and took care of us while we were there. They made sure we had plenty to eat. They made sure we went to places where we could see these important things that pertain to our tribal history. And I was very, very impressed with that. Now, the other part of it with the, when we went to this other place, anyway, other than that, I had a very fine time, and I enjoyed my trip. And like I said, I was making sure I was taken care of, because you have to take care of yourself. Before anyone else takes care of you, if you've got a problem, make sure it's taken care of. I don't see this waiting for someone else to take care of it if you can do it yourself. I'm over 91 years old, and I look at it this way. God gives you the grace, gives you the ability to take care of yourself. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yes.
Now, the rest of it, you can do for other people when you take care of yourself first. And everybody had that attitude, would have a better place to live, wouldn't we?
Yes.
Let's all think better that way. Let's all think, hey, I gotta do this myself before I go raise cane with somebody else. Can I handle it? That'll work too. So, and I'm just very pleased with our chairman's being able to jump up and run when y'all holler. Because he does that, and I accommodate you, Lord.
Thank you.
That you do that for everybody. And Vice Chair, and especially him. What you said a while ago made a lot of sense. And that's what we should be striving for. So I just want to let y'all know, y'all are sitting up there, not for your own personal gain, but for everybody out there. You're here to take care of us. That's why you got voted in up there.
And I have a question. There's one thing I would like to ask. How come there was nobody at our swearing in of our new chief judge of our court? I was very disappointed that we didn't have any CBC members at our swearing in of our new chief judge. Our court system, whether you all know it or not, a lot of people out here don't know it. We have the best court system in the nations.
Yes, we
In the
do.
Indian nations,
Yes.
all over the United States. We are number one.
Yes.
Our court system is, and it is a legitimate running court system. I know a lot of people may get mad, but hey, if you're doing wrong and you get reprimanded for it, that's your problem. That's not the court's problem. We just try to handle it the best way we can for you. You're the right or you're wrong, you're bad or you're not good. Whatever it is, when you come to that court system and you get in there, you got yourself there. We try to manage to get you straightened out. That's our business. So, but just to say, I would like to, and I would appreciate some acknowledgement for our new chief judge. So,
Yes.
I was really disappointed that there wasn't anyone there,
Well,
except the chief chairman
and the Secretary
and the
Treasurer.
secretary treasurer. So, would have been nice if we'd have had the whole CBC to acknowledge our new chief judge.
Thank you.
Yes, I do apologize for that personally because I did have a prior meeting that I was attending. So with that being said, I did want to shake his hand and, congratulate him.
Okay, Judge Kusum, thank you for that positive insight. I need a motion to go into executive session.
Mr. Chairman?
So moved by our Vice Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, please, let me know, want people to speak. Can I give it, grant that privilege? So that she knows.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, I was hoping that you, before you scurry off into executive session, that you would have a motion for one of your members to suspend for 3 months the work session, doing away with the webcast and the financial reports. For 3 months, can you restore the live telecast? Somebody needs to make that motion today.
We will do that coming out of the executive session. Thank you, Mark. Yes.
I have a question. My name is Isabel, and I'm a college student. I have a question about Resolution 113. A lot of times, I need a ride to the campus, and almost every time that I call community transit, I'm told that they're short drivers almost every single time, or there's just no one, no one can come pick me up, basically. So, how are we going to start adding routes when, there's still an issue in our current location where they're short drivers almost every time that I call?
Let me make a clarification. Our transportation department, they handle all the roads and road improvements. Our transit, this has nothing to do with our transit. They're the ones that provide the transportation for our tribal people and our community. We will take that note back to our director.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, real quick, I would like to have our new CEO of Commission Enterprise, Harlan Stevens. Would you like to come up and introduce yourself?
Absolutely. Thank you.
Can we get a mic, please?
Marlon, I appreciate that tie. That's sooner red. Today's bedlam.
I work for a particular reason. Represent Comanche Nation. Good morning. In our language, actually, just want to tell you, I arrived a month ago. I look forward to working with the Navajo, I'm sorry. You guys are brutal. Everybody's calling the words of the plains now. I lost my scalp when I came here. There we go. Let me come back to this whole thing again. Now that I got put on the spot. I want to say thank you for allowing me to be here in your presence. I appreciate the opportunity to work with the Comanche Nation. From the Navajo Nation. Also, my father is Laguna Pueblo from Laguna, New Mexico. We have quite a bit of relatives in various locations. Prior to coming here, I came from Shoshone Paiute, the tribes up north. Then prior to that, prior to that, I went to Temecula, California for All Mission Indian. So I've had various experiences with tribal organizations. And very briefly, we all share a common theme, and a lot of it's sovereignty issues, land and culture. And the other part, unfortunately, what I've experienced is unethical decisions that can relate to a lot of politics that it's unfortunate because in some of those capacities, it's the tribal members that suffer. And what I would like to do is say thank you for the opportunity, and I sincerely hope to ensure that we establish a good partnership to get this enterprise up and running. I'm well aware of the history, and we want to make a different approach, establish more accountability, transparency, responsibility, and integrity back to the enterprise. So I request your patience. I thank you for allowing me to be in your presence again. Thank you very much. Shows that you care about your community being here. So thank you. Yes, sir.
I saw the covers from a job description that you applied through for. I welcome you on board, by the way.
Thank you.
You have goals for the next 12 months. This is November 23. Could I just put you on the spot and say, what are your goals for the next 12 months?
Well, for the enterprise in itself, we're getting reestablished as far as the governing board. We're establishing, going back to the bylaws to revisit them. There's also policies and procedures that need to be established or revised. And as far as that is looking at the operations internally, looking at making some improvements. The other part is really looking and working with the nation on identifying viable revenues and streams of revenues that will best fit the enterprise in itself. It's going to take time.
So you have, what, $7 million or $10 million to work with?
I don't know offhand. Why I say that is because we're focused on getting the foundation back in order. We're strengthening that process. We do have funds that have been earmarked and moving forward, but that process will be up to the board in improving budgets. So that's kind of, we're at the next phase is where we're looking at budgets, and we're gonna have to go back to the board to approve it.
As you know, the tribe is adverse risk towards economic development. They just got blinders for casino. So hopefully, you're not gonna be part of that scene. But hopefully, you would also give monthly reports publicly by, you've been probably kicked out of that too. But I hope to hear a monthly report from you one of these days.
Yeah, I mean, I welcome it. Like I said, I'm here to work with the nation and moving forward.
Very good, sir.
That's part of my job.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate
So
it.
I thank you for your comments and
Yes, sir.
recommendations.
Thank you. And then here's the question, the last question for the CBC. Why did you move the new business? Thank you, sir. Why did you move the new business section off the agenda? What, it used to be right before executive session.
Well, I did some research on our old and new
But
business.
why?
Well, can I explain the research, Mark?
Do your research.
The former chairman brought old or new business in to discuss old resolutions, to give you an update on those, and to present new resolutions that were coming up for the next meeting. That's what that was intended for.
So it's not a political ploy to get
No.
the people out of the room so
No,
they
sir.
won't come back?
No.
Well, that's what it looks like.
Well, I apologize.
Well, I wish you could say it again.
Before you break for executive session, I just had a couple of questions. And it goes back to my FOIA request from September the 19th. I asked for the number of HR complaints on Hazel Toshapaw, CBC number 1, for the zero tolerance policy. I didn't want the actual complaints, I just wanted the number of complaints employees have filed against her. I also asked for the number and dollar amount of the golf tournaments that the tribe and the casino has paid for John David and for Ross. I asked for the number and dollar amount of conferences, including the hotel stays the tribe has paid for Vice Chairman Cornell, where he has not stayed the entire time. I asked for the zero tolerance policy and the resolution. I did receive that. And then I did receive the resolution that was rescinded. For October, I asked for the FOIA request for the September CBC minutes. I did get that finally. I asked for a copy of the tax commission stipend checks for the CBC. I requested that because I noticed that there was checks since I was suspended in September. I noticed that there were checks that somebody had posted online that had my signature. And this was in October. And so the reason I requested a copy of your check, I don't even want a copy of it. I just want to know if my signature was on it. Because if that's the case, then I'm going to accuse all of you of embezzlement and fraud for using my signature to sign checks.
Okay.
Because that's what you guys did to me in your resolution that nobody has still owned up to. So, I would like to know when I'm going to get that, because it is well over 7 days per the Constitution that I requested these.
Alice, I will have an answer for you when we come
You
out of
said
this.
that last month. And that's the Constitution.
Okay. Thank you. We got a motion to move to executive session. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Second by CBC member number 4. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, we are now in executive session.